Welcome back to the 5-7 podcast. I'm your host, Mike Pre, and today I want to talk about election integrity. Now, it doesn't really matter who won or who didn't. What I want to talk about is, do you as an American feel that your vote matters? Now, there have been some instances that have been reported on the news, depending on which news you watch, about some problems with the election. Now, specifically in Pennsylvania, it was said that they sent out 1.8 million ballots, mail-in ballots, and they got 2.5 million in return. Now that's a big problem. I don't think it really matters who your candidate is. It matters about who rightfully won. Now, if there is a chance that there is election fraud or a chance that the election was swayed in some way, I think that there needs to be an investigation. And I think that considering they got so many mail-in ballots back, I think that Pennsylvania should be investigated because you want to get it right. But at the same time, what are they going to do and how are they going to know which ballots are legitimate and which are not? Are they just going to count the same ballots over again? If that's the case, then it doesn't really matter. What matters is getting the right person in office. Now, what can be done to prevent this? To be honest with you, I don't really know. I wonder if this is something that has happened in the past and we just didn't know about it. I wonder if this is common and it happens all the time. And because nowadays we have so much access to our phones, to cameras, and things of the like, that we're getting more information and we're learning about things that typically we wouldn't have learned about in the past. So I really hope that this isn't true, that there isn't any election fraud, that if Joe Biden won, he won rightfully, and that he won outright, and that we can move on, with our lives and with what's going on. It's been a very tumultuous year. The election was tumultuous at best. I thought that the debates were uninformative, and I think that they were terrible. I do not like the direction that things are going. And I would strongly suggest to everybody to get involved in your local politics, because that is what really influences your day-to-day life. The president of the United States does have some impact on your life, but I would say your local government, your local officials have a bigger impact on your life than I would say the president does on a day-to-day basis. I would tell people to start there. And if you want to change things, you could change things in your hometown and then take things from there to your representatives, to your senators. And when you're electing these people and these people are nominated and you're voting for them, you have a better grasp of who they are, where they come from, and what they represent. I don't want to get on a soapbox about this today. I just want to talk about our vote and what it means. Typically, our civic duty is to go out and vote for the best person because we can, and it's a right for us. And yeah, it is important to do so. But at the same time, I really hope that our vote isn't being manipulated and our votes aren't being cast aside because of some kind of tampering from either side or whoever was doing it. Anybody who's going in to influence the election, which I find incredibly disconcerting. And I feel that us as Americans, that we deserve better. We deserve better than what we're getting from our government. And I'm not what can my government do for me person? I'm not at all. I believe that the government is supposed to help us, and we are supposed to help the government in our own way by supporting it and paying attention to what's going on in day-to-day matters to guide our representatives to vote on things and try to implement things on our behalf that betters our way of life. And that's not how things should be. Politicians shouldn't have their own agenda that they're putting out on people. They should have the people's agenda on what we want done and trying to implement that and telling the president or how I like to say the powers that may be on what we want and try to implement those things. So that's how I feel about that. I don't feel like our vote matters as of right now because of what is going on with the election. Things just seem so jacked up that I don't feel very confident in it. I do want to move on though, and I do want to hear what people have to say. Comment in the comments. Get me on Instagram at 57 Podcast. I want to know what you think about the power of our vote and if our vote matters. Get me in the comments. I want to hear what you have to say, and I want to start a conversation about it. I also want to talk about a possible stimulus package coming out. I don't want to talk about the stimulus package. I want to talk about what is going on with it, where there are people out there, there are businesses that are failing, there are people that are losing their homes because they can't afford things, and it's taking so long for the stimulus package to come out. Now, we can argue the fact that about the pandemic, on how deadly it is, and are we being shut down improperly, and that would go into the weeds a little bit. I think that we should give businesses an opportunity to stay open. So if people want to patron these places that they can, and so that they can get their business, I think mandatorily shutting down small businesses or businesses in general is a bad idea. I think we should leave things open. Yes, we do want to stop the pandemic. Obviously, we do want to stop people getting it, but at the same time, we need to allow people to have their livelihoods. We need to allow these people to try to stay afloat and keep their businesses going. Having some stimulus coming out and helping these businesses and people with their bills because they can't work and things are shut down. Obviously, it's a must. And I'm curious to know, how do people feel about stimulus? How do they feel about help coming out? And more importantly, where that help should go specifically, and how much that help should be put out there. I'm curious. I'm curious to hear what people have to say about that. I think that it's important to help others, but I don't think that we should take people's livelihoods away, and we should allow people to get out and if they want to take the chance and of getting COVID-19, then hey, the risk, what you're going out there to get, and leave it at that. I think there's too much emphasis on people wanting to police other people and not allowing people to make their own decisions. You could see it on Instagram, the face mask police walking around and giving other people a hard time for not wearing their face mask, or in general, just wanting to police people, and if we would just mind our own business, we wouldn't have any issues. So that's all that I got for you today, guys. I want to know your opinions. Let me know what you think. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Give me a like. It won't hurt you a bit. I appreciate it. It helps the channel. And let me know, guys. Let me know what you think. This is Pri out.